In the world of K-pop, money doesn't just follow fame, it follows influence, branding power, and the rare ability to make the entire world stop for a single performance. The industry has produced global icons who transcend music, shaping beauty standards, redefining luxury partnerships, and building empires that reach beyond the stage. Here, we count down from the 5th to the richest K-pop star in 2025, not by mere earnings, but by the scale of control they've built over global entertainment. 5. Jisoo, Blackpink, turning rarity into power. In an industry built on constant visibility, Jisoo has mastered the art of selective presence. Her estimated net worth of $60 million doesn't stem from relentless exposure, but from precision, a curated visibility that redefines how fame translates into fortune. When Blackpink became the most influential girl group of their generation, global attention turned every member into a recognizable name. Yet, among them, Jisoo crafted a lane that feels less like celebrity and more like cultural capital. She understood early that oversaturation kills value. Instead of appearing everywhere, she appeared correctly. Her association with Dior wasn't another brand partnership. It was a structural shift. The French fashion house didn't simply hire her as an ambassador, they adjusted their aesthetic language to include her presence. Runway designs, campaign narratives, and social media strategy began to orbit her name. The result was an unprecedented surge in Dior's engagement across Asia, a measurable transformation that turned Jisoo into both muse and market engine. What separates her from other luxury ambassadors is control. She curates rather than participates. Her few endorsements, Cartier, Dior, and select Korean campaigns mirror a portfolio investor who values stability over volume. Each collaboration raises her market worth because scarcity amplifies demand. Every red carpet look or limited appearance becomes a global event, feeding a cycle in which silence builds anticipation, and anticipation multiplies value. Jisoo's wealth also extends beyond fashion. Her acting debut in Snowdrop established her as more than a performer attached to a group name. It proved she could command viewership on her own terms. The project attracted international attention and, despite controversy, expanded her commercial worth across streaming platforms. Negotiations following that release reportedly raised her endorsement fees by over 40%. The structure of her financial empire is simple but efficient. Music income from Blackpink's touring and recording royalties remains a solid foundation, yet her real acceleration comes from image monetization, the translation of aura into commerce. Analysts within the Korean entertainment market note that her fan engagement per post surpasses those of many Western A-list actresses, positioning her as a hybrid figure, part musician, part global luxury icon. But the reason she ranks among the richest isn't only money. It's because she has achieved something most idols chase, but never sustain longevity through restraint. Jisoo doesn't chase virality, she dictates rhythm. Her power lies in withholding. In an economy obsessed with constant output, she profits by staying rare. That is how $60 million in net worth becomes symbolic. It represents control, the one currency more valuable than fame. 4. G-Dragon, Big Bang, legacy that still prints money. If K-pop has an architect, it's G-Dragon. 2 decades in, his estimated $70 million fortune continues to expand without active release cycles. That's not nostalgia, that's infrastructure. He built something that earns while he sleeps. When Big Bang changed the course of Korean music in the 2000s, G-Dragon wasn't just its frontman, he was the creative engine. He wrote, composed, and produced much of the group's catalogue, securing publishing rights that remain profitable long after chart relevance. Those rights form a quiet financial backbone. Every time a Big Bang classic resurfaces on playlists or TV, royalties flow directly to him. But songwriting is only one pillar. His fashion empire, Peace Minuson, functions as an autonomous business entity connected to Nike and several independent designers. The collaboration with Nike produced the Paranoise Air Force One, one of the most successful limited sneaker releases in Asia. Resale markets still trade them at multiples of original price, generating continuous revenue through licensing. G-Dragon doesn't sell products, he sells taste. His influence shaped how idols approach fashion not as consumers, but as creators. By merging streetwear with avant-garde aesthetics, he set a template that younger stars, including BTS and Blackpink, unconsciously follow. That makes his wealth cultural as much as financial. His endorsement history, Chanel, Kering, Hyundai, reflects another level of valuation. Unlike traditional ambassadors paid per campaign, G-Dragon often negotiates creative credit or partial rights, converting visibility into ownership. This model explains why his income remains stable even during long public absences. Critics sometimes wonder how someone rarely active can stay rich. The answer: royalties and residuals. His music catalogue, brand partnerships, and design collaborations all contain recurring income clauses. He built systems, not moments. What's extraordinary is that G-Dragon's image, once rebellious and disruptive, has aged into luxury. Where other artists mellow with time, he monetized his myth. The world now sees him as the original, the man who proved that individuality could be profitable in an industry obsessed with conformity. He's no longer competing with current idols, they're existing within the structure he built. That's why his $70 million is less a figure and more a monument. It represents how creativity, when owned properly, becomes perpetual income. 3. IU. The Power of Self. Authorship. Few artists command both respect and profitability like IU. Her estimated $85 million wealth arises not from noise, but from authorship. She writes, composes, and controls her narrative. Every lyric she pens becomes an asset. Every performance reinforces brand independence. From her teenage debut to her global acclaim, IU learned early that survival in K-pop required autonomy. While many idols depend on agency machinery, she turned inward, developing musical and business instincts that make her one of Korea's highest-earning soloists. Her company, Edam Entertainment, operates semi-independently, allowing her control over release schedules, sponsorships, and intellectual property. That control translates directly into financial return. She earns not just as singer, but as songwriter and producer. Royalties from hits like Good Day and Palette still accumulate across streaming platforms, variety shows, and international covers. Unlike others whose wealth fluctuates with touring, IU's grows steadily through copyright. Her image amplifies the effect. To brands, IU represents trust, a combination of sophistication and relatability. Gucci, New Balance, and Chamisul have long associations with her, and her endorsement contracts rank among the most expensive for Korean celebrities. But what truly elevates her income is her negotiation style, limited partnerships, full creative input, and moral consistency. She refuses excessive branding, ensuring her commercial identity aligns perfectly with her artistic one. IU's concerts sell out instantly, yet she avoids over-touring. That scarcity strategy mirrors top-tier corporate logic. Keep demand higher than supply. It keeps ticket prices premium and public interest sharp. Each performance feels like a privilege rather than routine entertainment, converting loyalty into long-term revenue. Her philanthropy, while often quiet, enhances her brand equity. Investors and corporations prefer associating with figures who sustain positive public narratives. IU embodies that balance, profitable yet principled, visible yet private. Financial analysts often describe her as the safest asset in Korean entertainment. She doesn't rely on group dynamics. She's not vulnerable to scandal-driven volatility, and her audience spans generations. All of this means that every new release, endorsement, or appearance carries predictable returns, the dream scenario for any investor. At $85 million, IU's wealth isn't just high, it's stable. She has achieved what few in the high-pressure K-pop economy manage: peace as profit. 2. Jungkook BTS. Jungkook's estimated $180 million net worth marks him as more than a celebrity, he's a system. His career demonstrates how global obsession, when guided by discipline, becomes enterprise. Every decision he makes feels intentional. Whether it's a Calvin Klein campaign or a solo release, there's calculation behind every reveal and silence. The world reads his moves as spontaneity. In truth, they're design. Jungkook's brand power defies geographic limits. 7, Standing Next to You, and 3D didn't just top charts, they reshaped them. Each release accumulated hundreds of millions of streams within days, proving he could dominate Western and Asian markets simultaneously. That data feeds directly into valuation models used by advertisers and record labels. It's measurable leverage. His Calvin Klein partnership redefined fashion marketing. Instead of seasonal appearances, Jungkook became a pillar of the brand's global identity. Every photo drop created traffic spikes and product sellouts. Marketing agencies now cite him as a case study in influencer efficiency, how one individual can outperform entire campaigns. Financially, Jungkook's structure resembles a hybrid corporation. He earns from multiple sources: royalties, publishing rights, real estate investments, and profit share contracts. HYBE's stock allocations and long-term licensing add layers of passive income, ensuring growth even during enlistment. But beyond numbers lies principle. Jungkook's empire thrives on restraint. He rarely posts, yet each post dominates headlines. He disappears, and speculation becomes promotion. This scarcity economics multiplies impact. The less he speaks, the more the market listens. His wealth trajectory also reflects foresight. By investing in intellectual property, securing rights to his solo works, and choosing global collaboration strategically, he ensures that fame converts into tangible, compounding value. He's not simply earning, he's building equity in himself. Culturally, Jungkook has transcended K-pop's limits. Western media no longer categorize him as an idol from BTS, but as a standalone phenomenon. That perception shift increases negotiation power. Brands and studios treat him as a macro-influencer, equivalent to Hollywood's top-tier talents. The astonishing part? He's still evolving. His peak hasn't arrived. At 28, his revenue curve is still climbing. Should his creative output continue at its current pace, projections place him near $250 million within a few years, enough to challenge even the current Haseon. In a landscape of noise, Jungkook profits from silence. That's not luck, that's mastery. 1. J-Hope, BTS. At the summit stands J-Hope, with an estimated $200 million net worth, the product of structure, foresight, and diversification. While others chase spotlight, J-Hope built foundation. He transformed the unpredictable nature of fame into a stable corporate model. His earnings come from music, touring, YouTube revenue, fashion collaborations, and a calculated investment portfolio that includes Seoul real estate and HYBE stock appreciation. Each stream, sale, and share compounds into long-term security. J-Hope's solo album Jack in the Box and headlining performance at Lollapalooza proved that individual identity could thrive outside group context. That independence elevated his contract rates and publishing royalties. Every performance since has carried premium valuation, but the hidden core of his wealth lies in moderation. He doesn't overspend, over-endorse, or over-appear. His management of image reflects corporate discipline, transparent, professional, and reliable. For brands, he's risk-free revenue. For investors, predictable growth. His art connects to productivity, a global symbol of hard work, optimism, and energy. These traits translate well commercially. Unlike many who depend on controversy for relevance, J-Hope's brand is clean, making his endorsement spectrum broader and more sustainable. He also invests heavily in philanthropy and creative ventures that double as tax-efficient strategies. His donations enhance public goodwill, reinforcing loyalty from both fans and partners. The result is a feedback loop where generosity sustains profitability. At $200 million, his fortune isn't flashy, it's fortified. It represents a kind of maturity rarely achieved in pop culture success that no longer depends on momentum. The equation of modern K-pop wealth, from Jisoo's curated scarcity to J-Hope's engineered steadiness. Each figure defines a different formula for prosperity. G-Dragon built legacy. IU built ownership. Jungkook built anticipation. Together they mark the evolution of K-pop from spectacle to strategy, proof that the genre's greatest export isn't only music, but mastery of how fame can function as enduring capital. And as the next decade unfolds, one truth remains. The richest in K-pop aren't those who chase the spotlight. They're the ones who learned how to own it.